Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the United Stand 7 p.m. show before all the games kick off, which will be over on That's Football later. But for now, we've got the United Stand and we've got some news to bring you. And you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title. This saga, I think it started off on the 12th of May and it's going up right until deadline day. So, yes, a lot of us are bored of it. I'm bored of it. We're bored of Dion, but we've got to get into the news that we have been given and that is circling out there. It's circling in on Twitter, it's circling in the news, and also we've got a little bit of our own information, our own intel that we've gained that obviously we can't share the source. That is, give us a little bit of inside information and take as that what you will. So, starting off on Frankie Dion, there has been rumours going around that it is possible still that Manchester United may sign Frankie Dion on deadline day. When this started circulating, I thought to myself, there's absolutely no chance. If he even does go anywhere, it's probably going to be to Chelsea. I think he's going to stay at Barcelona. Why would he leave it this long? But as Romano said, if Frankie de Jong picks up his phone and says to his agents tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, I want to go to Manchester United, let's do a deal. The deal that we have with Barcelona is in place. It is ready to go. So the money it's sorted out. The add-ons it's sorted out. Barcelona and Manchester United have a deal. The only thing that's stopping this deal from going through is Frankie de Jong and him physically not wanting to leave Barcelona and not wanting to come to Manchester United. But we were speaking to people today, and that's all I can really say. And it was they were saying, and these people have good connections, by the way. We said, is that transfer window over then for Manchester United? And they basically said, no, it potentially isn't, and kind of hinted at the fact that De Jong could come in tomorrow, and Manchester United are really trying to get this deal over the line. So I mean, take of it what you will. We're not saying it's set in stone. We're not saying we know 100% what's going on, but there's definitely stuff coming out of the club saying that Manchester United want to get De Jong over the line tomorrow. And plus, everyone, let me know what you think about this. Like, do you think even if Frankie De Jong did say, I want to join Manchester United tomorrow, would Manchester United even be able to get that deal done in time? I'm not sure that you would. I think they're absolutely desperate for it to happen. And there was also some telltale signs in Eric Ten Hag's press conference this afternoon that I watched. I'm sure a lot of you watched our press conference reaction that Mark did this afternoon. And Ten Hag basically said if the opportunity arises to get the right player, like he's always said, that Man United will do that and they will jump the gun and they will try and get him. So Eric Ten Hag still hasn't given up hope. And the only thing that lingers in the back of my head is that why would Eric Ten Hag still kind of look like he thinks this is going to happen? Why is this saga still ongoing if he's in regular contact with De Jong and he spoke to him and he knows the players? Surely there's something there that makes you think maybe, just maybe this could happen. I mean, it probably is 99% delusion and 1% chance, but 100% now, I'm telling you, if Frankie de Jong does choose that he wants to go somewhere else and he wants to try a new challenge, Manchester United will be waiting for him and waiting for him to come to Manchester. They'll do anything they can. They'll pay the money tomorrow to get it done. So we'll have to wait and see. But if we do buy him, which if I had to put money on it now, I would say no, we're not going to. But in the club, they're trying to get it done. If we do buy him, that's 300 million we've spent this summer. And it's a lot of money. It's crazy money. And it's like, it's crazy that all of this had to happen with the Glazers out protest to make that happen. But Manchester United are not giving up on this deal. They will go until the very end for Frankie de Jong. And if we got him on deadline day, how mental of a transfer window would that have been? It went from doing absolutely nothing to kind of picking up a little bit of speed to having some August just taking over the August window, going crazy with signings. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. Tomorrow definitely need to take a look out on what's happening and see where Manchester United end up. They could be no one coming tomorrow. There could be De Jong coming tomorrow. There could be just Dubravka announcement tomorrow. We already know that that loan deal's over the line. So there might be someone maybe that we didn't expect that we go for last minute. I wouldn't put it past Manchester United to do a deadline deal. So we'll have to wait and see. But if it was De Jong, how crazy would that be? And what would your thoughts be on that? Would you be excited about it? Because I know a lot of people are frustrated because this player didn't want to come to the club in the first place. So let me know your reports down below. My Jack is saying Sky reporter saying Ronaldo to Chelsea is on. I doubt it's going to happen. I think from what I told and what I'm in the know about, they're all in on Aubameyang. So I don't see them getting Ronaldo and Aubameyang. And if we did let Ronaldo go at this point, it would just be absolutely crazy to leave us with that striker situation that we've got. And Darren Mullaney says, if we do buy him, it would make the summer transfer a 9 for me. Yeah, me too. It really would. We're missing a forward and a right back, but it would really take our midfield from one of the worst in the league to one of the best. Seriously, it would. Casemiro and Dion working together in midfield. Oh my OMG, dare to dream. I mean, that is Eric Ten Hag's dream, clearly. They were his priorities. They were people that he wanted to bring in. He wanted technical players in that midfield. And he's wanted Jong from the start. He's been his number one option that he wants. So he could push it right until the very end. And why would he go for it if there was absolutely no chance? That's what keeps coming back into my head. It's like my delusion kind of keeps taking over me. Paul Good says, "Hi, Mark, Sky Sports News team. Um, Twisting storylines and harping on about Ollie's second and bias of underperforming English players. It doesn't surprise me. A lot of pundits, whether they're on Sky or whether on different broadcasting channels, often do favour English players and even players that don't play for, even teams that don't play for Manchester United. It's like we had this whole saga on Martinez, and yet Koulibaly hasn't been doing great, and Chelsea have been doing poor. But is there a saga based on Chelsea on Sky Sports and BT Sport? No, there isn't, because we pull different kind of views to them, and that's just the way it is. So that's always going to happen. Frankie goes to Manchester, and we've been telling Mark that tomorrow he's got to wear his Frankie Dion t-shirt to kind of put the good luck on it and make Frankie Dion come to Manchester. It'd be mental if it did happen, but we will be streaming all day tomorrow, deadline day, as per usual, and bringing you the latest updates on everything we get. And I think it's going to be one of the most exciting transfer deadline days, touch wood, because I don't want to jinx it, that we've had in quite a long time. And even if we didn't get De Jong, we could potentially get someone else. The sources from at the club are saying that it's not over and they will be trying to push tomorrow for another signing. Matea says maybe Frankie de Jong saw that he will be fourth, fifth choice in Barcelona. Do you know what it is as well? I don't think he wants to take the wage cut. I mean, he's been off-putting this wage cut for so long. In Manchester United, he's going to get paid crazy money. And I'm just putting this to the chat here and putting it to you guys and telling my opinion on this matter. If I'm Frankie de Jong, do I want to be playing for Barcelona, who don't value me whatsoever? I've been moved in and out of different positions. I'm probably not going to be in the starting 11 every single week. And they're asking me to take a massive wage cut. Or do I want to play in the best league in the world, be the manager's most important player that he's been after all season, have the opportunity to be part of the rebuild where, if it's successful, it's the absolute best fan base to be a part of, and you will literally go down in history. I might be a biased Manchester United fan here, but I would take that opportunity all day long. I really would. I think from what we've seen compared to the start of the season, yes, Brentford was horrendous, Brighton wasn't good, but Liverpool and Southampton, we've really made this comeback, and new signings are coming in, they're solidifying the spot in the team, and we do look like taking baby steps. We are improving slowly but surely. I mean, working with Casemiro and Bruno in that midfield, surely that would be like, it would be a good place for him to come. I might be naive because it's Manchester United and I support them, but yes, people in the chat and playing the Europa League, it's for hopefully a year, because I think this Manchester United team have the opportunity to go and win the Europa League this year. I honestly do. I think they have the opportunity to go and get in the Champions League that way. I think Eric Ten Hag is a really good manager, and De Jong will know that. And I think even if we're out of the Champions League next year, which I don't think the aim should be to 100% get back in the Champions League. I think it'll only be a matter of time until we get back there, especially with Manchester United employing Eric Ten Hag. Eric Ten Hag seems like he knows what he's doing, and he's got big ambitions for this club. So if I was Frankie de Jong, I would honestly take the risk. I really would, but that is just me. And plus, he'll be on loads of money. Like, and I know that's not always important to a player, but if he's not wanting to take a wage cut, I mean, you wouldn't have to here. We'd probably pay him even more. Give it to Mike. He says, Ten Hag already said there will be no more signings. He didn't say that there'll be no more signings. He was saying that he doesn't think there'll be more signings because that's what he's going to say to the media. But I'm pretty sure he said that if the right opportunity arrives, Manchester United will be monitoring it until the final minute of the transfer window. And that opportunity could be Frankie Dion, the signing that he's wanted from the 12th of May since he became available. All I'm saying is I don't think this saga there's no smoke without fire. There must have been some inkling that we could potentially get De Jong over the line. Do I think it'll happen personally at this point in the transfer window? I don't, but there is always a chance, and I'm just bringing you the news that we have been given and that we've been told. So, I mean, it's exciting. If nothing happens, at least the hopes are there, and the potential for it to happen is there. And I will be excited tomorrow waking up. I will be just for the hope that maybe this could happen. Ben Sofa says, maybe Frankie just watched the Figo documentary on Netflix. Keep up the good work, Beth. Thank you. And Frankie de Jong, he needs to realize that this could be the start of something. I really think he does. Oh dear God, going on about de Jong. Stop it. He's not coming and he said it himself. Yeah, I know, but we've got news and that's what we do. We update you on the news. So I've said my opinion. I don't think he's going to come. But if there is still some possibility there. And we've got told that we're going to be pushing this up to the final minute. So that's what we've come to bring you guys. And Johnny from Donny saying, I've been saying since the 12th of May will be the headline. If he does come, potentially Mark will come back on here and say he told you all along, but we'll have to wait and see. Tina Camp says, in Dutch papers today, they say that Frankie told the Dutch press, I go nowhere, I stay in Barca. Yes, because he's been doing that from the start of the window because he doesn't want to take a pay cut. He don't want to take a pay cut and he wants the dividends paid to him. And he probably does want to stay in Barcelona. But if he's not getting what he needs by the final end of the transfer window, if he's pushed it so far, there is a potential move in place. There could be a potential there. That's what I am saying to you all. But yeah, thank you guys for all your chats. Keep getting them in and we'll be going through them because this is my penultimate transfer show with you guys. I mean, tomorrow we've got the deadline, which I will be on at some points of the day, but this is the second to last day before the transfer window is over. And what a up and down transfer window it has been, and it's been crazy for all different reasons. But this De Jong saga has been right in the middle of it, and of course, we're up to the final moments of the window with this saga still ongoing, still hope, still journalists speaking about it, still people getting the hopes up, including myself. So you never know what was going to happen. Weirder things have happened before. It could be one of the craziest deadline deals that has happened, or we could just end up with no one. We don't know yet. We won't know until tomorrow. But we have got in place Dubravka coming on loan with an obligation to buy that might come into play depending on how many games he plays for us. So I'm sure that signing will be coming out sooner or later. I'm sure they've got the Anthony pictures ready to go because in case they don't sign anyone, they're going to still want traction there, especially when we're playing Leicester. If that's a bad result, you never know. Hopefully it's going to be a good one, but focusing on the game as well, they're going to need to build up traction if we don't sign anyone. So they'll have them waiting to go. And we know Anthony and Dubravka have already signed. So that's 6 signings so far for Manchester United. But another to get the opposite side of the spectrum on what other journalists are saying. This is why it's a big mixed bag at the moment. Luis F. Rojo says, Dest will not go to MUFC. They will not make any more signings in this market. And we previously had the news that Erik ten Hag really wants to get Dest in, even though Villarreal are looking to bring him there from Barcelona. Erik ten Hag wants Serginho Dest. The only problem is Manchester United will not move for him unless Aaron Wan-Bissaka goes. So this is another player that is a potential for tomorrow, in my opinion. If anything wild happens and West Ham and Manchester United agree an agreement for Wan-Bissaka, doubt it'll happen because Erik ten Hag did say he was definitely staying today in his press conference. But there's rumours that West Ham are interested, Crystal Palace are interested, and Erik ten Hag does want Dest. So if we did manage to get a deal over the line for Wan-Bissaka, I could definitely see that being a deadline player that we could get in at the last minute. I think he would come as long as Wan-Bissaka went. So that's one to keep your eye on as well. To me, doesn't give me that much excitement. Very injury prone. I don't think he's very established. I definitely think there's potential there, but I don't know. If Erik ten Hag rates him, then I'd get behind the manager because he's done very well so far in his transfers. He really has. I mean, Martinez, brilliant. Malacia, what a good buy for 14 million. Anthony looks like he's going to be really good. Eriksen's improved the team. Casemiro, brilliant. So you've got to trust Erik ten Hag. He's done a good job with his transfers so far this season, and I'm sure De Jong would have been the perfect window for him. But sometimes you don't get the perfect window, but we'll just have to keep the lookout of what's going to happen. And then another story I wanted to bring you guys, because I'm sure you've seen the news that it has officially happened. Fabrizio Romano talking, saying that James Garner has completed his medical at Everton. Everything has been agreed with the player and clubs, 15 million fee with a buyback clause. We don't know what the buyback clause is yet, so we'll have to wait and see for that news to come out, and I'm sure we'll bring it to you as soon as we get it. But we have sold James Garner for 15 mil, and I think it's absolutely criminal that we've let him go for that amount of money. I know why we have let him go for that amount of money, and the reason we have is because the Glazers probably going to try and get money back in the club for what all they've spent on Anthony and what they've spent this window. He's the only viable midfielder that hasn't got a massive wage that people don't want to take, and he's a promising player that did really well at Nottingham Forest. His price tag should be high, is what I'm trying to say. But 15 million, that at the moment in this transfer window is pocket change to me. Like, it really is. I don't think it's anywhere near the value that we should be getting for him. For me, I think we should be getting 20, 25 million at least for James Garner. And I don't think we should be selling him. What I wanted to put to the chat as well, which I think is crazy, is that you've got Casemiro in, one of the experts in his position, 5 times Champions League winners, done it all at Real Madrid, brilliant player at the top of his game. And you've got James Garner there. They might not be the same player, but they have similar attributes. And you're not going to let James Garner stay and work under Casemiro, establish his game, and kind of learn from one of the best midfielders that there's been. So I think it's the wrong decision for Manchester United. I think they're just trying to get some money back. But at the same time, if Ten Hag doesn't rate him, then Ten Hag doesn't rate him. And that might be the reason why he's getting sold. Ten Hag would have had to approve this deal, I assume. So if Ten Hag thinks he's got the depth in midfield that he has, then fair enough. But what I would have done is I would have definitely loaned him back out to the likes of Nottingham Forest or even a Southampton. I even think Everton would have taken him on move. The fact we've sold him is because we actually want that money back. We want to sell him. We clearly don't think he has a future at the club, and we just want to get the money we can while he's at this point where he has played football last season, and he's not just been sitting on the bench for Manchester United for a year, which is what would have happened if he would have stayed. So I wish all the best to James Garner. I definitely think he's someone that we could look to in the future and think, why did we sell him? We sold him too early, and we all would have said, well, we told you so at the time. I'm surprised because there always usually is an academy prospect in the squad that is getting brought through. I mean, look at the treatment McTominay got. This could have been McTominay years ago. It honestly could, because McTominay, no one's really rated him that highly from the moment he came into the first team. But he stuck around because of his attitude, because of his work rate. Managers liked him. And we could have easily sold him early in his Manchester United career, but we didn't. And we always thought it was because of the stigma of the fact he's an academy prospect. We like to keep academy players in our team, British. I mean, he's Scottish, but he's British. So I assume that was why he stayed. So the fact that we're letting go with James Garner, who is, to me, has very good talent, looks like he could be better than the likes of McTominay, and also has the ability to work his way to an even higher level, hasn't even been given a chance in the first team at all. I'm surprised they sold him so early on. It's a big risk, because if he ends up doing really well, it's going to look bad on the club, and the fans are going to be really annoyed about it, because we all disagreed with this deal as soon as it came out. But we have got a buyback clause in, but I would be interested to see how much that is for. And Sigurd Hegridinson, sorry if I didn't say your name right there, a member for 3 months, says there's a buyback clause with Garner. Right, there is a buyback clause as confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, but we're not sure how much it is for yet. So we'll have to see. I assume it won't be too high, but it's really annoying that we're just kind of buying him. And then if we use a buyback clause, like, why didn't we just loan him out? It would have been the more logical solution. International 2675 says, I agree Garner should stay and be a bit of an understudy to Casemiro, but how is he worth more than that armour last year? Not Premier League proven eat neither. Basically, because I think he's worth more because he plays one for Manchester United. He had a good season in Nottingham Forest, and it is English football that he's been playing. You always get players for cheaper when they come from abroad, especially from the likes of the Dutch league, apart from Anthony, obviously. So I think he's worth a bit more, especially for how important he is for Manchester United, in my opinion, and what thought he was. I think it was we haven't produced a midfield youth player that has the amount of prospects and potential that James Garner's had in quite a while. I mean, Bruno even said, remember on Bruno's Twitter Q&A when he was like, who's the most exciting youth player that you want to play with in Manchester United's first team? And he said Garner. So he's obviously seen him in training, seen him playing, and the potential is there. Everyone was so excited about this player. And to just sell him for 15 million, I'm like, I think it's a waste. He should have gone out on loan, and we would have watched him at loan in the Premier League. We would have seen him develop even further, and we would have been excited to have him as a Manchester United midfielder. So yeah, Nottingham Forest on loan in the Championship. He's one of their best players, brings them up to the Premier League. Has potential to go out on loan in the Premier League to see what he's about in the league that Manchester United plays, and just sells him for 15 million. To me, that's just to get some money back for him. And potentially Eric Ten Hag has said he wants a lean squad. But you can get a lean squad by putting players out on loan and giving them a bit of a chance. I do think it is a little bit too soon, but get your comments in down below on your thoughts on this. Do you think he's going to be the one that got away in a sense? How many times must De Jong reject Man United for you to get the message? It's not about us getting the message, and that's what I'm trying to say to you here. Manchester United surely would have walked away from this deal if there wasn't some indication that he was willing to come. I know publicly he said multiple times, it's Barcelona, it's Barcelona, it's Barcelona. And I do think that is the case. I do think he wants to say Barcelona. I think he wants the wages that he's on at Barcelona. But at the end of the day, Barcelona are trying to push him out, and they also want to cut his wages in half. And they also haven't paid him money that they owe him. So there's something going on. There is something going on. Whether he will come to us or not, the likelihood is he won't. But what I'm telling you is there's still a chance that Manchester United is still pushing this deal, and there must be a reason for that. Just seeing De Jong at Manchester. He came through the airport, didn't he? And he's going to Donny van der Beek's wedding after some days off. All I'm saying is he's in England. He's ready to do the medical on deadline day. It's ready to all be completed pretty quickly. Maybe make it into a De Jong and Depay duo double signing for Manchester United on deadline day. Could you actually imagine if they just did that, like De Jong and Depay duo for Manchester United on deadline day? It'd be crazy. I mean, it won't happen. Who we kidding here? We're Manchester United, but still, I just think the hopes start creeping in at this point. De Jong will show up at United tomorrow. Yeah, John Murto dragging him there, going hunting him down at wherever he's staying in London probably. And Eberglant says, it's a good deal, Beth. Real Madrid have been doing it for years. The player will likely get much more game time if it is a player, and we will get him back if it goes well. Yeah, but we'll have to pay to get him back, which is really it's just disappointing. But anyway, it's a weird deal. I don't agree with it. A lot of you don't agree with it, but we move on. One thing I just wanted to touch on as well before we end this show is that Gakpo, as looks like PSV are agreeing a deal with either Leeds or Southampton for Cody Gakpo. I think Southampton's put forward 25 mil, which makes me laugh because when we were interested, it was like 38 mil that we had to pay. So it just shows the United tax that get put on things. But I don't know. Get in the chat below if you think this is a deal that is going to get away. I just think for the money and for the prospect that he is, we should have paid this before the end of the window with the problems we have in lack of depth at the striker role. But you never know. We'll get to see him in the Premier League though if he does come, which will be interesting. And if he starts tearing it up, it'll just be one of them players that again you're like, why did we not get him at the right price? And we'd probably go back in and just pay silly money because I don't know. I feel like we rarely ever get anyone at the right price before they blow up. Malacia could be the one. He really could. He looks like he's got loads of potential, but Eric Ten Hag was the one that pushed that over the line. So realistically, it wasn't even Manchester United. It was Eric Ten Hag doing that. But I mean, Eric Ten Hag wanted Anthony. I'm happy we've got Anthony. What I'm saying is we should have got him as well. And yeah, also Tielemans one to watch. 25 mil you can get him out of Leicester for because of his contract situation. Last day of the transfer window tomorrow. Why is no one doing that? I have no idea. I'd do it if I was Manchester United right now to deepen our depth in midfield, give us another box to box option other than Eriksen. I think it's very, very good money for someone of Tielemans' quality that's Premier League proven and is a very good player. So maybe that could be a deadline deal that is waiting to happen, not necessarily for United, but potentially for another club. I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on that one tomorrow. Our wage bill is too much if Ronaldo stays. We have got a very high wage bill to be fair, but Pogba, Lingard, these players have gone off the books. I doubt Malasia's on high money. I think Eriksen's on quite a bit. Martinez won't be on high money. Anthony, I doubt, will be on high money. So we are cutting it down slowly but surely. I am bidding for Tielemans to play for my son Duty Pub League. Yeah, Tielemans is one to watch for sure, definitely. And so someone else says, so your own manager says no more signings, but people still saying Jong's coming falls. We're delivering the news and it's getting spread all over the place. And we had our own personal news as well that we brought to you. So the deal could potentially still on. And if you actually watch the whole press conference, you would see that he says if the right person is on, then United will be following it until the final minute. So yeah, you should watch the whole thing and understand what he means and understand how press conferences work. But that's a show for you guys. Mark is doing a watch along on That's Football for Aston Villa and Arsenal and also Liverpool and Newcastle. There's so many games coming tonight. United's on tomorrow and also deadline day tomorrow as well. It's going to be a crazy couple of days, but make sure you head over there now to go and watch that. Also, get in your comments down below before tomorrow happens. Do you think any more signings are coming in for Manchester United? Do you think it's a coincidence that Jong is in Manchester? Do you think anything could happen? Get your comments in down below. Make sure you like and subscribe and